So did you think we were done with word problems? I guess you guys are super excited. Alright, so Ashley has X songs on her iPod. If she has 100 more, she would have half as many as her sister has. That is wordy. How many does her sister have? Alright, well, let's start with Ashley. We know what Ashley has because it told us Ashley has S songs. Careful with S's, they tend to look like 5, so just make sure that your S doesn't look like a 5. And the question is, how many does her sister have? So this is what we have to figure out, is how many songs does her sister have? Well, it says, so back up, Ashley has X songs on her iPad. If she has 100 more, she would have half as many as her sister has. So first, let's go ahead and look at if she has 100 more. What does that mean? 100 more means that we take her songs and we add 100. So if that happened, then it would be half as many as her sister. So what you want to think about is who has more songs, Ashley or the sister. So if Ashley has 100 more, like we just showed, this is half of her sister's, so that means that her sister must have twice as many. So we multiply it by 2. We can go ahead and the question is asking how much does her sister has, so we can go ahead and distribute that 2, and we get 2s plus 100 times 2 is 200. So 2s plus 200, and we're talking about songs, so we'll put a label on that. So again, we multiplied that by 2 out here because s plus 100 says if she has 100 more, so there's 100 more, she would have half as many as her sister. So her sister has twice as many, so we multiplied by 2. Alright, the length and width of a rectangle are consecutive even integers, and the length is L feet. So, let's draw this out and see what this looks like. We have a rectangle, and they told us the length is L feet. Alright, so let's say that the length was 10. This is just for example. For example, maybe the length is equal to 10. Now, in the picture I drew, you can see that the length is the longer side. So that means that the width has to be shorter, but these two numbers have to be consecutive even integers. So I need an even integer that's smaller than 8, but still smaller than 10, but still next to it. So that's going to be 8, because 8 and 10 are consecutive even integers. And the reason why I made the width the smaller number is because it's the smaller side in my picture. Does that make sense? So what we know that the length is L feet, and what we're going to do is we're going to represent the width in terms of length. So I'm going to say that the width is equal to the length minus 2, because if the length is 10, if I subtract 2, I'm going to get that even integer before it. So the length on the other side is L minus 2. So that represents consecutive even integers between the width and the length. Okay, so now that we have that set, we can go ahead and answer a couple questions. Finding the area, well, if you remember, area is equal to length times width. Well, we know our length is L, but remember our width is that L minus 2. So L minus 2. And for now, we'll just go ahead and leave an answer like that. But we are talking feet, and this is area, so it's going to be feet squared. I know that you guys know how to multiply variables. We know that L times L is L squared, but we just haven't gotten to that in the curriculum yet, so we'll just leave it as is. Alright, perimeter is equal to adding up all the sides. So if you add up your two lengths, now we have to add in our widths. So L minus 2 is 1, and add in another L minus 2. Well, we've got a lot right here that we can add together. I see a lot of L's. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 4L. And then if you combine a -2 and another -2, you get -4. So our perimeter is equal to 4L minus 4, and then our label will just be feet because it's perimeter. We don't have to square that. And that one is done. Wow, this video is like never-ending word problems, but that's okay. We like these, and if we don't like them, you might as well learn to love them because they are definitely not going away. Alright, 2 buses leave the depot at the same time. One heads east at 6 miles per hour, and the other heads west at half that speed. After 4 hours, how far apart are the buses? Alright, so here is what is happening. We have a bus depot. So there's our depot. It's like a bus station. One bus is heading east at X miles per hour. So east is this way, going X miles per hour. The other bus heads west at half that speed. Well, what's half of X? That's just 1/2 X. Now, it says after 4 hours, how far apart are they? So what we're going to do to get that after 4 hours is we're going to take each distance and just multiply it by 4. So we'll multiply that by 4, and we'll multiply this by 4. So really we're looking at 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 1/2 is 2x. So that's representing our distances. And where that comes from, why we multiplied by 4, distance is equal to rate times time. We were given the rate. We were given x miles per hour, and we were giving half that, so 1/2 x miles per hour. And then what we did was we multiplied the rate times the time. That's why we multiplied by the 4. Okay? So now what it's asking is how far apart are the buses? So we want to know the distance from here all the way over to here. So we're going to take that 2x and we're going to add to it the 4x. And our total distance, 2x plus 4x, is 6x. And because we're talking distance and we are in miles, it's 6x miles. Alright, this video is done.